Today on Podcast Them Down, how metal are the birds in Ocean City, Maryland?
Podcast them down.
Hail Metal Nation, it is I, Tim. This is Dad. We'll call him Dad. And we are in scenic Ocean City, Maryland. Scenic?
Scenic?
I guess.
We got dead stuff over here.
There's dead stuff there. There's been various birds. So, last year we did metal on location with walking down the boardwalk. But, why walk when you can just sit here? So, today we're going to, since we're here in Ocean City, Maryland, we're going to rate the metalness of the birds you might see in Ocean City. So,
Did we just lose video?
No. See the
it's
dot?
blinking.
Yeah. So once that stops blinking, I'm not going to cut this out. Once that stops blinking, that's bad. But good question.
It's like a heartbeat.
All right. So I found this website. Okay. So there are like 400 species of birds. In fact, there's a red-winged blackbird right now. I found this website that has the common birds you'll see. It was, I'll keep this in too. All right, well, it's oceancity.com, and it's the birding descriptions, okay? Link in the comments. So, no, or in the description, or wherever.
Or downstairs, as
Yes.
has been said before.
Okay, so I thought their descriptions were a little dry, so I had ChatGPT spice them up a little bit, make it a little more metal, and therefore I can't attest to the accuracy of the descriptions. But so I guess what we're specifically going to talk about is whether the ChatGPT altered descriptions of the birds are metal or not. So is this a metal bird you're going to see in Ocean City? All right, we'll start with the, here, let me do a split screen so you can, so not everyone at home, but Dad, co-host, can see very small pictures of birds. All right, so we're going to start with the American oyster catcher. The American oyster, see, this is how I'm going to read it. The American oyster catcher roams the rugged coasts of the Americas, from the icy shores of Maine to the wilds of Argentina, and from the stormy waters of Washington to the jagged cliffs of Chile. This badass bird is instantly recognizable by its fierce orange beak and stark black and white plumage. In the 19th century, its numbers were brutally decimated in New England due to relentless market hunting and ruthless egg collecting. But, like a warrior rising from the ashes, the American oyster catcher has clawed its way back, reclaiming its rightful territory. All right, so what is it? Oh, there we go. This is a big picture. So what do you think? I think it looks like it looks kind of like a doofy bird, but I think it sounds pretty metal.
It sounded pretty metal. I'm intrigued with the it being hunted to near extinction. I'm not sure who would want it. I guess that is an ugly bird, but
It's got a long beak.
Hey, does size matter? I guess does that help it with its oyster catching business?
I suppose.
In my experience, oysters don't run away. So
That sounds like, despite this great description, you're saying this is not metal.
no.
All right,
no.
fair enough. You know what? I'm just going to let you have your piece, and I won't offer my opinion because it's funnier that way. Oh, and if you disagree with him, the email address is yourwrong@podcastthemdown.com. And obviously, the first part of that challenge is to be able to spell "you're wrong" correctly. All right. Next up is the Barrow's Goldeneye. The Barrow's Goldeneye is a fierce sea duck hailing from the rugged coasts of Western North America and the icy realms of Iceland. A close kin to the common goldeneye, this avian warrior is named after the English statesman and adventurer Sir John Barrow. In the harsh landscapes of Iceland, it's known as the husand, or house duck, a name that belies its untamed spirit.
I'm kind of impressed with sea duck myself. I would give it points for that. You know, you're not your average duck, but a goddamn sea duck.
Oh, was that a yes then?
That's a yes.
That's a metal duck. Sea duck. All right, next. The black scoter. The black scoter, America's lone black duck, is a beast, known for its hefty build and massive bill. In its Canadian stronghold, this dark sentinel is often called by its French name, Marquise Noir. During the breeding season, the black scoter dominates the wild expanses of northern Canada, Alaska, and the Siberian wilderness of Russia. But when the chill sets in, it embarks on an epic migration, journeying as far south as the Gulf of Mexico, the San Francisco Bay, and the distant shores of southern China.
I gotta give that one high marks. I'm partial to ducks. We won't go into why, but yeah, kind of a muscular duck. Yeah, kick-ass kind of duck.
Muscular duck. All right. So that's another yes then.
Yes.
All right. I wonder where this one's gonna go. The bufflehead.
I've asked you not to call me that.
Also known as the spirit duck, is a fierce little warrior of the goldeneye family and one of North America's smallest ducks. Revered by bird watchers, this tiny titan gets its name from a fusion of buffalo and head.
I never would have figured that one out.
Thanks to its distinctively bulbous skull. In 1995, the bufflehead cemented its legendary status by earning a place on the coat of arms of the town of Sydney in British Columbia, Canada. Clearly, these are all migratory birds coming through Ocean City, but you know.
Yeah, I think it's a wimpy name. The fact that it's on any city's coat of arms is impressive. But a town I've never heard of in British Columbia is a little distressing. So it was Sydney, British Columbia?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so I'm not impressed.
That sounds like a no. You know, I just realized I could probably do the buzzers. Let's see. What is it here? There's a ding. Hey! All right. And so, oh, this is laughter. There you go. There it is. I found it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and ding and buzz you things. So that was a buzz.
Okay. I would also like to add that while I am drinking something, unlike Matt, there's no ice in my glass. So.
Well, you can still tap it against the microphone to piss me off. All right, next. The Canada goose. North America's most ubiquitous avian warrior roams not only its native lands, but also the wilds of Japan, eastern Russia, and eastern China. These relentless survivors have even invaded much of Western Europe and New Zealand. Thanks to their uncanny adaptability, the ranks of non-migratory Canada geese are swelling, earning them a notorious reputation as pests across North America.
Okay, that's a solid metal duck there.
That one was easy. Shall we move on?
Yeah, hey, anyone who's willing, who readily calls you a pest in public is
Oh, I'm glad.
impressive.
I'm glad for the next one it kept that word. The canvasback, a duck named for its white vermiculated belly that mimics the weave of a canvas. Is a symbol of elegance with its long, graceful neck. During the mating season, this majestic bird rules the wetlands of central Canada and the Midwestern United States. Traditionally, the canvasback has wintered in the iconic Chesapeake Bay. Oh, that's a ding. Ding. But in recent years, it has sought new haunts due to the devastating loss of submerged aquatic vegetation in its ancestral wintering grounds. Just making sure we're good. We're good. All right, so wetlands, Midwest United States, vermiculated.
He gets points for vermiculated.
It is a duck.
Could have come out with a better name than canvasback.
It sounds like a buzz to me.
Yeah.
All right. Common goldeneye. Common.
Okay, before you even read that, that sounds like the generic version of everything you've had so far.
Dominant force among Bucafala ducks, thrives in the lakes and rivers of Canada, the northern United States, Scandinavia, and northern Russia. This resilient bird is a prime target for duck hunters across North America. Uniquely, the common goldeneye stands alone as the only duck in North America that gains an edge from lake acidification, turning adversity into advantage.
That sounds kind of metal.
I know, that was
trying to shoot them.
That was boring until. Especially, while I thought, hunters like them because they're easy to shoot, but maybe they're just persecuted.
And they deal with acidified bodies of water. That's pretty fucking impressive.
That sounds like a ding, actually.
Ding that boy.
Common loon.
Again, I've asked you not to call me that.
A fierce member of the diver family, reigns as the state bird of Minnesota. This aquatic predator can plunge up to 200 feet underwater in its relentless hunt for food. Dubbed the loon, from the Scandinavian word for lame.
Lame?
That's what it says. Due to its notorious clumsiness on land, this bird is an unstoppable force in the water. Typically found in the north, the common loon embarks on epic migrations, traveling as far south as the Gulf of Mexico. So he's clumsy and a failure.
Clumsy and a failure. But he gets around.
Right.
I can't decide if that's metal or not. The clumsy part, probably disqualifies him. His plunge deep into the water, getting food is probably on the plus side. Probably balances out to a 5 out of 10.
Let's see what sounds I have for neither. Not much. Oh, that's the Price is Right sound. What's that one? Nothing. There's laughter. All right, the loon we'll get the laughter. Common eider. I'll wait for the laughter. All right. The common eider, a hardy sea duck, prowls the frigid waters of northern Europe, North America, and eastern Siberia. Known for its nest lined with precious eider down. This valuable material is harvested to stuff luxurious pillows and quilts. That's one of them now. However, as synthetic alternatives rise, this practice becomes rare. The common eider is also a notorious colonial breeder and philopatrist,
What's your language?
forging lifelong friendships, in quotes, among females as they return to the same breeding grounds year after year.
Okay, so I've got a thing for sea ducks, as you know. And this sounds like a horny sea duck. So it's probably a good thing. Yeah, I'd go for that.
All right. The great blue heron. The great blue heron, a towering figure in wetlands across North and Central America, the Caribbean, the Galapagos Islands, and northern South America, is a true nomad. An all-white population once hailed as the great white heron, now reunified with its kin, stalks the Caribbean and southern Florida. Northern herons migrate to Central America for the winter, while their southern brethren remain year-round residents, ever watchful in their watery domains. And the picture here, he's got a fish that's larger than his beak in its mouth.
Impressive. He's got attitude. I'll give him that.
Oh, I see what happened. An all-white population was found in the Caribbean and southern Florida. That's what ChatGPT changed.
I mean, is this a racial comment?
No, it's just there's the blue heron and apparently a white heron. That's all. This
Not
one's
really
tough.
impressed.
I mean,
They're tall.
this description does not serve them justice.
No.
So maybe you should use your knowledge of how they really are. Yeah, so is that a ding or a buzz or a laughter?
I think it's a buzz.
All right. You really blew it. Not you, the heron. Greater scalp. The greater scalp, known as the bluebill in North America and simply scalp in Europe, is a prized game bird hunted from the United States to Denmark, France to Iran, Greece to Turkey. This relentless bird stands firm across North America, Europe, and Asia throughout the seasons, showing no need for migration and a steadfast sentinel of the waters.
That's metal.
That's easy. Oh, I have a feeling I know the next one. Harlequin duck, named from the Latin histrio, meaning actor, is a flamboyant presence with aliases like Lord and Ladies, Painted Duck, Squeaker, Totem Pole Duck, and Glacier Duck. Breeding in the rugged terrains of northern North America, Iceland, Greenland, and western Russia, these ducks migrate only short distances, often gracing the rocky shorelines of the northern United States.
So he's a fancy lad, in
Yes.
other words. Nah.
That's a no.
That's a no.
Hooded merganser. The hooded merganser, the sole North American native among mergansers,
Obviously.
is the second smallest of its kind. Aw. Renowned for its striking appearance, this duck is a favorite in captivity. Remarkably, within 24 hours of hatching, a hooded merganser can dive and feed itself, a true prodigy of the water.
But it's... What did you say?
Oh, look at this
about-
thing.
Yeah. Thrives in captivity or something like that.
Yeah, favorite in captivity. I know where this is going. And he looks doofy. He looks
Yeah.
like he's wearing a helmet.
Yeah, he's a wimpy bird.
That's a no. All right, horned grebe or Slavonian grebe. The horned grebe, though small, leaves a lasting impression. Known in American folklore as the devil diver, hell diver, and water witch. The giant white bird now. Aye. It's a seagull. How come that's not on this
That's
list?
a big-ass seagull.
Yeah.
An industrial seagull.
The horned grebe earns its dark reputation with a red neck, scarlet eyes, and black head adorned with puffy horn-like tusks. Found across the northern hemisphere during breeding months, it ventures as far south as Mexico and Vietnam in winter. Oh, you know what? The horns made it sound way cooler than it actually looks.
Yeah, but you can't discount grebe just as a name. You know, that would make me a little irritated and edgy. I think it's above the 5 mark.
All right.
So, ding 'em.
Lesser scalp, or little bluebird and broadbill, boasts a distinctive blue beak. Despite a stark population decline reaching an all-time low, it remains the most populous diving duck in North America. The reasons behind its decline are still a mystery. Spending summers in the western United States and Canada, it migrates as far south as Colombia and Ecuador in the winter. Got a blue beak, all right.
And they're dying off, and we don't know why.
Right.
I don't know. I think it's probably got emotional problems.
Well, that could be metal.
That could be metal.
Is it still a no?
Let's give him a no.
All right. Long-tailed duck. The long-tailed duck, formerly known as the... I don't think I should say that. It's not...
I would not say that.
It's not that word, but it's another word. Has shed its old name to align with international naming conventions. What was that? Only the male bears the long tail, while the female's tail is short and pointy. Found along northern hemisphere coasts, it winters as far south as the Black Sea, with a significant migration to the Baltic Sea and Ocean City, Maryland. I've never seen that thing ever.
Yeah, I think it could be a communist duck too, if it's coming from the Black Sea. So.
Well, communism could be metal. There was a lot of suffering.
That's true. Okay, dig it.
Mute swan, native to Europe and Asia, has spread to North America, Australia, and southern Africa, named for its relative silence. It contrasts with its more vocal kin. Fossils dating back 6,000 years have been found in Great Britain. The mute swan, one of the heaviest flying birds, often weighs up to 26 pounds, a true giant of the skies.
Giant of the skies? I'd go for that and ding 'em.
Red-breasted merganser. The red-breasted merganser, a fierce diving duck of the sawbill clan, is recognizable by its long, pointy bill. It breeds in North America, Greenland, Scandinavia, and northern Asia. In winter, it migrates to the Baltics, China, and the Gulf of Mexico, a relentless traveler of the waterways.
Sawbill? That sounds metal.
And he's got like one of those Jersey Shore blowout hairstyles.
Yeah, I would ding that one.
All right. Oh, that was the wrong button. I dinged it twice to undo the thing. Okay. The redhead, a duck with a fiery crimson head and no soul, breeds in western North America and migrates south to Mexico, the Caribbean, and the southern and northeastern United States. Post-breeding, the redhead molts, leaving it flightless for about a month. A vulnerable yet resilient survivor. It looks like a mallard, but like they messed up the colors.
No, I've heard of having a cigarette after mating, but being immobile for a while, that must be awesome. Yeah, I'd ding them. That's gotta give them something for that.
Done. All right, red-necked grebe. Named for its striking red plumage during mating season, it is a vocal performer known for wailing and howling. Outside the breeding season, it is a quiet, dusky gray bird. It cannot take off from land, needing a running start on water. Found in temperate northern regions, it migrates as far south as Florida.
It can't take off from land.
Yeah, it needs a running start on water.
Okay. And he only changes his neck color during mating season.
That's right. The rest of the time, he just dresses in gray.
I think that deserves a laugh.
A laugh? Okay. All right. This is not a British producer from the 70s. This is a bird. The ruddy turnstone. A small wading bird of the sandpiper family, summers in northern North America, Asia, and Europe. A highly migratory bird, it travels worldwide, with some non-breeding birds staying year-round in wintering habitat, a tireless global nomad. And it looks doofy, too.
Yeah, but it's a tireless global nomad. So that counts in its favor. I'd ding them.
All right, then. Okay, so I'm looking at the Chat GPT. It really cut out some important information here. But I'm just going to read it as is. The snow goose with its... What is that? It sounds through here like, like a horror movie soundtrack.
Yeah, it sounds like somebody's pushing a dog through a fence or something.
Cool.
Hey, that's metal.
Maybe it's the snow goose. With its and there's a plane. With its genus often debated between Chen and Answer, mates for life and breeds above the timberline in Greenland, Canada, Alaska, and Siberia. It regularly migrates as far south as Mexico and occasionally reaches Costa Rica and Panama, a true voyager of the skies. What would they be doing here? That's what I don't get.
Yeah, I don't know. And he's bright white, so he'd be easy to see and shoot.
Here, the picture they have looks like an umpire saying safe.
I'm not impressed.
All right,
Now, before reading that one, I'm not impressed with that one, but
the surf scoter. All right, well, clearly this is a California bird, so I'm going to read it. The smallest of its kind weighs only 2 pounds and measures 19 inches. One of the rarest scooters. Its population declined by 50 to 70% over the last 40 years, largely due to the 2007 San Francisco Harbor oil spill, man. It was a bummer. It breeds in Canada and Alaska, migrating as far south as Georgia in the winter, man.
nah.
That's it. All right. Tundra swan. Last two. We're almost at the end here. Tundra swan, the most common North American swan, is sometimes split into Bewick swan and the whistling swan. Breeding in the Arctic, it migrates as far south as Mexico and Cuba and inland to Utah and Oklahoma. In winter, it is most common along the east coast of the United States from Maryland to South Carolina. In winter.
Nah.
I don't know, he looks kind of black metal to me. There's no colors, they're black and white. All right, last one. White-winged scoter. The white-winged scoter, the largest of its kind, can weigh up to 4.5 pounds and measure 2 feet in length. Differences between the eastern Siberian and American varieties often lead to confusion with the velvet scoter, and some scientists considering them conspecific.
Oh, sure. Show me the picture.
Oh, I pressed a button I shouldn't have. That's a tiny picture.
Yeah, for white wing, it doesn't have much of a white wing.
It has like the smallest amount of white.
Yeah. Yeah, I would buzz them.
Well, I was trying to. Okay, hang on. I have a bonus one for you.
A bonus bird?
A bonus bird, because I don't know how they left. They tried. Okay, they wrote this website for people excited about birds, right? But they left out like the obvious bird. And that would be a seagull.
Yeah.
You're gonna see seagulls here. Those relentless sky marauders rule the coastal wastelands with iron wings and piercing cries. Clad in battle-hardened feathers, these avian warriors plunder the shores, scavenging and fighting with ruthless tenacity. Their beady eyes, sharp as daggers, scan the horizon for prey, while their raucous calls echo like war cries over the crashing waves. In their relentless quest for dominance, seagulls fear no storm, thriving in the harshest elements, embodying the raw, untamed spirit of the sea.
Solid star. Give him a ding, and frankly, unaroused.
Man, every time I hit that button, it's a sound that shouldn't happen. Should we throw in a pelican for fun?
Sure.
All right, last one. Pelicans, majestic giants of the sky and sea, embody a metal-like presence with their formidable size and grace. With wingspans that command the heavens and beaks like serrated blades, they soar above coastal realms with a haunting elegance. These solitary hunters plunge into the depths, striking with precision akin to a warrior's blade, seizing fish in a swift and deadly embrace, their unwavering gaze like molten steel, pierces through the mist and spray as they navigate the turbulent skies. Pelicans, guardians of the coastal realm, epitomize strength and resilience, a symbol of power in the untamed wilderness of the sea.
Another two-ding bird.
All right, so it sounds like that's a lot of dings. It sounds like the most metal birds
Are the most common.
are the most common birds, and therefore your birding experience in Ocean City will be a metal one. Just finish it up with some fried chicken and some Pollock Johnnies.
We got some little things. I don't know what they are, but they're running through the marsh behind us. And in the early morning, they let out this absolutely blood-curdling scream, but they're only about the size of a donut.
That's pretty metal. All right. Well, until next time, Metal Nation, make sure your birds are metal. And if not, just come to Ocean City.
Cast them down.
I wonder if that paraglider knows he's on camera.